The protest is violent, right? However, they've been peaceful for the past 6 days. Today, with a wiki, Tifnumbu's minister mobilized his own thugs to go and attack and beat the protesters up. And the police watched, while the police watch. So the protesters are now saying that since the police can't protect them, and they are never going to stop protesting, therefore, tomorrow, they will defend themselves. So please, don't let them have that grace of looting your business, because whatever is going to make them justify that there was crisis, because the protesters are not the one coming to come and disrupt, but they paid thugs, which is very normal in that climb. Let me show you another one.
The face of suspects, individuals are
behind you, right? These are those they claimed to have arrested. Yeah, the police claimed they've arrested. The police said they've not killed anyone, but 48 people have died, and they've arrested over 600. They also claimed that they have arrested the sponsor of the protest. They said they've arrested 5 foreigners. They are Spaniards, or they are Spanish. I've been a Spaniard. I think the language is Spanish. The people is Spaniard. Shall I get them, Sha? That's what they said. They've arrested some Spaniards, 5 of them. And according to their police, they said they are those sponsoring the protest, among other reports. Let's listen to this.
The face of suspects, individuals arrested by the police command, which they say were involved in various degrees of crime committed during the August 1st protest. The police command outlined the crimes committed by the individuals in the 3 categories: violent protest attacks on police, looting of public and private property, and raising of foreign flags.
The protests escalate in a violent manner, and the attacks include the officers that are diligently maintaining public safety and upholding law. The attack led to the serious injury to the police officers and damage of police patrol vehicles.
The police further disclosed 92 suspects were arrested for vandalization and in possession of stolen property.
The looting of both public and private property during this protest is a grave concern. For instance, Gombe State Revenue Tribunal, Bima Lodge, Gombe State Bureau for Public Service Reform, Nitel Company, and Blue Jay Motors, among others. Such action not only undermine the rule of law, but also disrupt communities and harm businesses.
Sadly, the police also confirmed the arrest of individuals hoisting foreign flags, especially that of the Russian flag, of which the police describes as a crime against the state.
On the 5th of August, we have also seen an unsettling display of foreign flags by some protesters. This act not only disrespectful to our national symbol, but also a treasonable felony-related offense. Hence, 10 suspects were arrested flying Russian flags, and they are under investigation.
In all, the police assures it will expand its dragnet to understand the purpose behind the crimes committed with the assurance of safety for the people. Chika Udempo, AIT News, Gombe.
See police with Russia Twitter, Russia black. Ya Allah.
We have been on the meeting brainstorming on the way forward to see to peace and tranquility of the state. You remember that when the crisis happened, the state governor, His Excellency, imposed a curfew just to 24 hours. But with the situation of things and when we observe there is peace, absolute peace in this community, in the state, we have decided to relax the curfew from 6 to 6. Thank you very much.
Well, what they said it's clear with regards to those flying foreign flags. Is there any action?
No, they have been arrested. You're all aware that they have been arrested. And you know it's a sedition offense, which is more than a level. So they have been transferred to appropriate place. By and large, I think almost 80 of them were arrested by the joint operations of security agencies in Kano State, from the military, from the DSS, from police. So, including foreign nationals in their midst. Thank you.
Okay, sir, we understand that some people are still planning to come out for a protest, and while others are planning to come for a national prayer. What is your call with regards to this?
We're still monitoring. We're still at alert. All we're after is the peace, and we're ready to do anything.
The face of suspects, individuals arrested.
I just had to add that so that we are not just talking about the protesters and then we leaving out those who they have been arresting for protesting, not because they've done anything. I say, oh yeah, maybe they've done something. They've arrested few people who have stolen, looted shops, and what they stole have been collected from them, right? These are protesters, and good enough. The End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria, they have their own legal team, the lawyers. Oh, talking about lawyers. We received the death of lawyer Ogunlana. You remember him? They call him revolutionary lawyer. He's our lawyer. He's Yoruba Union's lawyer as well. He is the lawyer, right, that we hired for the people, for Igbo, as well as those that were being persecuted at the time, to say, okay, we could get you one, right? So this man died today. I'll tell you more about that later anyway. So talking about these Russian flags, right? Here was what their police spokesperson had to say.
Nationwide protest, police speaks tough against display of foreign flags, condemns clamor for military takeover. As police totalize individuals sponsored to trigger crises in Nigeria. The Nigeria Police Force has issued a stern warning against the display of foreign flags during protests and calls for a military takeover, categorizing such actions as treasonable felonies under Nigerian law. This follows a wave of violent protest, particularly in Bauchi, Kano, Kaduna, and Katsina states, where protesters brandished foreign flags. Ongoing investigations reveal that protest organizers in the states mentioned above are luring innocent children into participating in these unpatriotic and criminal acts. Over 90 suspects have been arrested, including tailors who sold the flags and their sponsors. Efforts are on the way to apprehend others who sponsored the production of the flags and fueled these treasonable acts. The display of foreign flags and calls for a military takeover constitutes a clear treasonable offense, revealing the motives of protest organizers to destabilize Nigeria's democratic government. This aligns with actionable intelligence on the tactics of fifth columnists and non-state actors exploiting economic hardship protests to further their nefarious goals. Tensions from the ongoing protests have eased following President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's address on August 4, 2024. However, some groups persist in subversive campaigns in the form of violent and unlawful protests characterized by the destruction of public infrastructure and private property, looting, display of foreign flags, and calls for a military takeover. These individuals and groups will be treated as subversive agents and charged accordingly. The Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, has directed Deputy Inspectors General of Police for the Northwest and Northeast zones, DIG Balach Roma PSC and DIG Bello Makwashi, to take charge of operations in the states within the two geopolitical zones where subversive campaigns are ongoing under the guise of protests. They are tasked with stabilizing the situation and preventing further violence in the affected states. The Nigeria Police Force reiterates that the use of foreign flags during protest and openly calling for a military takeover of the government is a capital offense under Nigerian law. The police cautions Nigerian youth to be wary of individuals and groups turning protests into business ventures funded by local or foreign sponsors aiming to destabilize the country. Evidence shows that these sponsors have paid significant sums to exploit the hardship protest, brainwashing and misleading innocent children into aiding this campaign against the government. The Nigerian Police Force salutes Nigerians who have refused to participate in and indeed spoke out against the ill-timed protest out of sheer patriotism and belief in the government's genuine efforts to put the country on the path of economic recovery and growth. We also acknowledge the patriotism of those who peacefully participated in the protest but withdrew when they turned violent, and those who heeded the president's call to embrace dialogue by withdrawing from the protest. The Nigeria Police Force remains committed to maintaining peace, protecting the nation's heritage, and working with the public to ensure the safety and stability of this great country, Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Yeah, that's their police. So they have foreign actors that are deceiving Nigerians that they are hungry. That's what the policeman said. Okay, the Nigerians who are protesting, they were deceived. They were brainwashed to go out there and demand for a better life and a better government. That's what the police is saying. So flying a flag of a foreign country in Nigeria is a capital offense. It's BS. Because it is in that same Nigeria, in that same northern Nigeria, where you saw them for months now, where they have been defending Palestine and calling out Israel. Other parts of Nigeria, places where they have flags of different kind of countries, they call their they have allegiance to. That's not a capital offense or Galopa. So, but calling for the military to come and take over is also not a capital offense. Because they didn't plan any coup. Yeah. But Nigerian policemen serves not the people, but the elite. They do not obey the law. They just make up a nonsense in their heads, and that becomes a law in their warped minds. And since Nigerians have been too battered, too brutalized, too assaulted to even see through that, so the guy like that can face the camera on an international TV and say, carrying or waving a Russian flag is a capital offense. Capital offense means that if you are arrested, they will kill you. Yeah, that's what capital offense means. So they are throwing capital offense at protesters, Baba, because of flag, because of a cloth, a piece of cloth. Then they are saying that those who are protesting were brainwashed to go and say that they are hungry. But in that same press release, the same police officer said some people are taking advantage of the economic hardship protest in Nigeria. What the hell are you talking about? But some said that it was the El-Rufai and Yeye Bello that sponsored the Nigerians who are flying. They sponsored the protest in the north, and they are the ones who are giving Russian flags to the protesters. But guess who they sent to come and defend that? Alakpasa. What do you call this guy again? Alakpasa or something? He actually said few things that I feel like, number one, the guy is calling for help. And at the same time, the guy is also confessing the fact that APC, Egbekegbe, una don't finish for that northern Nigeria. That one is the fact. I can promise you that. So the people that Tifnumu will need to bribe in order to rig them are the ones who are now saying they can't wait till 2027. They want him out now. See the person where they sent to go and tell you that Yeye Bello and El-Rufai are not the ones sponsoring the protest in northern Nigeria. I know it's $1 talk, right? But I listened to him and he said few things that I want you to also hear, so that when they are doing the funeral for the APC, Egbekegbe and all these guys are being hunted and are being picked up, maybe one of the Orashiri you can come to pass too. Listen.
Our fellow Baptists who genuinely, conscientiously support our president, President Bola Tinubu, those of you who genuinely brought this government to power and wish our president well, I mean, we just have to be very, very careful going forward. These are our brothers whom some people, some idiots in our party, through this them say sort of crap, basically emasculated from the party, claiming they are corrupt, they are this, they are plotting against the Ashiwaju. People, these are the people. In fact, the funny thing is that the people that Jackson Ude mentioned, Yaya Bello, Nasir El-Rufai, Bello Matawale, these were people that were very, very close to former President Muhammadu Buhari. They are the three people that sued him over Naira scarcity, Naira redesign, that insane satanic policy of idea of Godwin Emefiele to make us lose election. They are the ones who sued in support of President Tinubu. They were critical to us winning election. Then an obedient mentions them. I mean, without no evidence. It says they are responsible. Yaya Bello, of all people. Nasir El-Rufai. And that they are in cahoots with. Do you know what is happening? It's the same thing that is happening in this nationwide protest. These idiots are trying to divide us. And some of us, Baptists, some of us APC supporters, some of us in this government, in our government, are so stupid, so idiotic, as to allow them to divide us. We are falling apart like this, oh. We are falling apart. How many of us are there? How many of us won this election? We won election, not because we were spectacular. Just get out of my sight, my friend. We won election because God wanted Ashiwaju to be president. We won by the lowest margin since 1999. That's what, I'm a Catholic. It's so clear to me. God made Ashiwaju president, despite all the odds. And these people they are mentioning were crucial in us winning that election. So let's continue this nonsense of tearing ourselves apart. Let's continue this nonsense of falling apart miserably while the other side is gathering together and sponsoring mayhem, insurrection against us, then claiming that it's our brothers. Whom idiots in this government, by through them say nonsense, emasculated, drove out of our from our midst. Our dear brothers, Yaya Bello, Nasir El-Rufai. Nobody is perfect. I have fundamental differences with them. But they are our brothers. They stood with us when it mattered most. Who is perfect? Am I? No, but no one is. Not even Ahiwaju is perfect. Only our Lord Jesus Christ is perfect. Only God is perfect. They are our brothers. So let's continue tearing ourselves apart when we won presidency with less than 40% of the votes. My own theory of those who are instigating people to treason, to be carrying, can you imagine, Russia? We are bigger than Russia. We have more population than Russia. Carrying Russian flags on our own soil. Calling for military coup. That Yaya and Nasir are in Niger. Doing what? Where is the proof? Where? There is something really, really wrong with us in this party. We are just falling apart. Now, so far, what I would say in terms of at least the northern dimension of this so-called nationwide protest, which is just an excuse for mayhem. If we had our brothers still with us, fully with us, free to do what any Nigerian citizen should be able to do. If we had Yaya Bello, if we had Nasir El-Rufai with us, these are people like me. They are not afraid of anything. They will speak their mind. They would have calmed down the North. They would have spoken up for Ashiwaju. Those now that we have in government, we have in various critical places in critical appointment. What have they been saying? Have you heard from them? I'm asking you, my fellow APC members. Have you heard from them? No, it is how they even got across to a notorious obedient like Jackson Ude, an anti-Tinubu character like that, to now be in the midst of this nationwide protest when we should be synergizing, coming together to support our president. We are further tearing ourselves apart. The Bello did not say anything to do. El-Rufai did not say anything to do. Is to be saying Russian flag. Man, shame on all of you, you crazy people in this party. May God uproot all of you from our midst. You are not Baptists. You are not progressives. You don't love Ashiwaju. You don't love President Tinubu. And God will remove you. God will separate all of you from our president. I owe you all, my fellow Baptists,
This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. Since 1992, when I encountered you, I don't think this is the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. That calls me his friend, and I call him my friend, and calls me my son, and I call him my father. This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
Allahumma amin. So that was the Odokpasa, what do you call him? Odokpasa, who practically was angry that there are those around Tifnumbu that are leaking information about what's going on inside Tifnumbu's illegitimate regime to some outsiders. And they continue to do that in order to further divide Tifnumbu and his helpers. Yeye Bello, El Rufaya, the two thieves. El Rufaya stole over 400 billion as governor in Kaduna. 74.7 Kaduna children. They cannot read or write. But they told you El Rufaya changed Kaduna. No, he didn't. Well, okay, he did, but it was. With one of the out-of-school children in the north, 8 years of El Rufaya